Hey y'all, this is Michelle with Blue Skies Lettering. Come practice some calligraphy with me today using my viral free printable. The file will be linked in the video description. And here we have it, the word unwind, written 4 different times. I feel like this is a great way to take a breath and relax from our normal life. Since there's 4 lines, we're going to be using 4 different tools. We're going to use 3 different calligraphy nibs and a brush pen. So let's get started. Okay, we'll get started. I have my tracing sheet ready to go here. Just printed it on regular printer paper, and I will link this in the video description for you to be able to grab yours. Today I'm going to use Canson marker paper. I like this paper because it's nice to use when you're practicing. You don't have to use a light pad or anything. As long as the text is dark enough, it should show up. Obviously, this is well loved. I love this product. And I'm going to be using, there's 4 lines on this sheet, so we're going to use a different tool for each one. And y'all do not be like me. Make sure every time you use your pointed pens that you clean your ink off really well. So I have a Zebra G, which is my favorite steel nib. I have a blue pumpkin. I have a Leonardt Principal, which is a little bit more of a fine tip nib. And then we're also going to use the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen. For our ink, we're going to use Sumi ink. I'll also link this in the video description. Whichever one you want to grab is fine. I have my washi tape to affix my tracing paper on top of here. I use a fancy medicine cup sometimes for holding my ink, and also have a glass of water and a paper towel to clean off my nib in between. We'll get started. I'm just gonna use a little bit of washi tape and secure my sheet here to the table so it won't be going all over the place while I'm writing. First, we're going to start out with the Zebra's G Nib. This is my favorite nib, really. It's very versatile. You can see it's flexible, but not super flexible, so you're still able to get a beautiful hairline. But it does really well on different types of paper. You don't have to worry about it snagging as much. One of the big things I really strive for, and a reason I switched from brush pens as my primary use, is that I like these thin hairlines I can get. But there are advantages. The brush pen is definitely more portable and easy to just pick up and use, so I use both. So that's my Zebra G. And there are 2 other G nibs, the Nico G and the Tachikawa G. I believe I'm saying that correctly. The Zebra is my favorite just because it's a little bit sharper. This next one is the blue pumpkin nib. This is the Leonardt version. There's another one, a Blanzy, I believe. This is still, you got a little bit more flexibility than the Zebra G, and you're also going to get a little bit thicker line here. This one isn't necessarily my go-to, but I like it for when I'm using gouache or using any ink that's a little bit thicker. It tends to be a little bit more forgiving on the flow. And you do have to be careful if you're heavy-handed. Pushing down on this, you can get a good amount of ink out of it. So it's learning about controlling that pressure. Calligraphy is so much practice. We never get to where we just arrived. It's always a consistent practice, consistent training of your hand. This one is the Leonardt Principal. It's very flexible here, and we get a nice, beautiful hairline with this one. I tend to use it on commissions where I'm writing at about a 3 or 4 millimeter X height. And you can see you get a really pretty hairline there. This nib is not quite as forgiving on textured paper because the tines are so delicate, it can get caught. And it's really important to be able to have a light hand on this one. So that does take a little bit of getting used to. And our last one, we're going to use the Tombow Fudenosuke, the hard tip pen. This one, it's very important to have smooth paper so you don't mess up the brush part of the brush pen. This Canson marker paper is great. It's very smooth. Rhodia paper is good. Any kind of tracing paper. You just want to keep in mind if you're using it on watercolor paper or other kinds that are textured, you're not going to have your pen last quite as long, which is okay. Sometimes that's what you need to do for your project. So there we go. Thank you for joining me for today's video, and please feel free to drop any questions, comments, or suggestions below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I would love if you would like and subscribe to my channel. You can expect to see more videos about calligraphy instruction, pointed pen, Procreate, and anything else that you might find helpful. See you later.